Alex Mason is a very important character in all the Black Ops history for the Call of Duty games. Today in this video, I'm going to go over 10 things you didn't know about Alex Mason in Call of Duty. Welcome back to Game Shame. Let's get into the video. Number 10, Alex Mason was born in Alaska. It's said from the get-go that Alex Mason is from Alaska, the northernmost state of the USA, bordering Canada, but upon further investigation, a more specific place of birth could be narrowed down. The Operation 40 intelligence reveals that he was born in Anchorage, one of the largest cities in the state. However, on the contrary, Mason claims himself when under interrogation that he was born in Fairbanks. Number 9, he was a sniper in the 1950s. Given that he spent a good chunk of his childhood hunting with his father in the unkempt wilds of the Alaskan state, Mason came to be quite familiar with his rifle. As such, it is no surprise then that at the age of only 20 years old, he won the Wimbledon Cup's marksmanship competition. Even more impressively, he was the youngest to ever do so. Number 8, Mason's eyes changed color in the sequel. In his debut game Black Ops, Mason has green eyes, which, whilst a small detail, seems to have been overlooked by the time of the sequel's release, strangely. In Black Ops 2, Mason's eyes swapped over from the original green to a brown color. Why? There's not really an explanation, as it was likely just a small oversight when making his new model. Number 7, he has a Dutch passport. We know that Chisel Chris Redfield looks like Alex Mason, but he has a Dutch passport under a completely different name, where he is listed to be living in the city in Shady. You can see his passport in the beginning of the Rebirth cutscene, which shows that his fake alias is Willem van der Berg, a clear reference to the 1800s Dutch painter of the same name. Number 6, the mailbox in Nuketown bears the name Mason. Nuketown is perhaps one of, if not the most iconic Call of Duty map to date, rivaling even Modern Warfare's Rust. It's no surprise then that the Black Ops debuting multiplayer level has some Easter eggs. One of these is a reference to Alex Mason in the form of a mailbox that bears his name. This isn't quite as well known as the famous Rolling Stones mannequin Easter egg. Number 5, he assassinated the President John F. Kennedy. Whilst in the real world, we know that Lee Harvey Oswald was the man who pulled the trigger of the gun that killed JFK, in the Call of Duty world, it was Alex Mason that truly killed the president. He can be seen in the crowd of onlookers, whilst there are also many hints towards the event, including the date of November 22nd in Dimension of Texas. In the final mission of Black Ops, he even accuses Dragovich of trying to make him kill the president. However, his use of the word tried might be hinting that he thinks that they failed. On top of this, when asked in the sequel if the Russians truly brainwashed him, Mason says they gave it their best shot. It would seem that they succeeded and he simply doesn't remember, but is it possible that they failed? Number 4, Mason was born in 1933. Mason in No Spring Chicken, Alex was, in fact, born in 1933 in the aforementioned state of Alaska. He grew up hunting with his father in the wilder lands while also fostering heavy anti-communist sentiments. Given the closer proximity, Alaska was more exposed to the threat of the Cold War from Russia. As such, Mason developed a harsh and radical ideals that made him a tough opponent in the coming conflicts. Number 3, had a child called David. If you've never played the Black Ops 2 campaign, you'll have missed out on Mason's descendant David. He was born in 1979 to an unknown mother who died, causing a rift to form between him and his father. This is because David blamed Alex because he went back to the army, not only shedding a light on the fact that Mason retired at some point, but that his absence may have been factored into his wife's passing. Number 2, the Black Ops E3 demo has a different voice actor for Mason. There's typically some strange disconnects between the E3 demos and the final products, and Black Ops is no exception, as even the main character, Alex Mason himself, had a different voice actor. The 2010 demo gave players a glimpse of the 12th mission, Payback. It shows off both Mason and Woods during the height of the Vietnam War, as they are interrogated by the Viet Cong. Number 1, Mason had a 16% chance of surviving the game of Russian roulette. There's a tense moment early on in Black Ops campaign where you find yourself, or rather in the form of Alex Mason, forced into a game of Russian roulette. Mason begrudgingly takes part, albeit not entirely of his own volition, as he has a gun pointed right at him. Some sleuths worked out the odds that he was gambling his life, on which is a frightening low percentage of only 16. Meaning that plot armor was really pulling his strings and keeping him afloat. It's weird to think how different the story might have gone if he had pulled the trigger and lost the bet. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.